top 5. 没有. Remember that noodle time, but the one down in Kaohsiung. But beef noodle. I like beef. I ended up starting to like Chengqing Lake, but I think I mentioned that when I was coming back from Korea and I was signing with Ida. I was worried about it because I don't think I'd pitched very well at Chengqing Lake in 2012 or 13. I ended up figuring it out. Like, you know, it just, I had to make some adjustments.
What is your favorite mound in Taiwan?
I love pitching at home in Xinchuang. Like, that was my favorite place. It actually wasn't my favorite, even though I did have like a lot of success there. It took some adjusting because it's a pretty high mound, but like the slope isn't very steep. So it's like a little like flatter. When my front foot or like my strike foot would land, you know, like I think guys struggle with because their arms not in like their normal position because their front foot's landing earlier than it like usually would. So it's just like you have to adjust to that to be able to kind of throw the ball downhill. But it's like one of the best kept mounds in the league. There's never like a big hole. It's always like really well done. My big thing was if my landing area was like a big hole or like uneven, you know, that would like mess with my head. There was points in my career where I didn't like that mound because I thought it was like really flat. It was weird because 2015, it was like the biggest mound I'd ever pitched on. And then the following year, it felt like they just, you know, took a shovel and they got rid of it and it's just like pitching on like flat. I remember having conversations with other pitchers about this. Like if you go from Tainan one start, then you go to Taoyuan the next start, it's like completely opposite pitching mound. You know, I was like, one is so tall and the other one is so flat. Taoyuan's mound now is nice. Like 2 years, they built it back up. I think so. You know, I think that's part of the reason that I liked pitching in Xinchuang so much was because, you know, behind home plate, it seems like really built up quickly. So it makes you feel like you're pretty close to home plate. Take like Taichung, for example, where it's kind of like built out that way. And it seems like a little further. It just gives you this like perception that it's like a little further. I personally like having that like kind of close feeling. I also like having the fans closer too. It's just like kind of louder and more fun. Retiring, I think that was, you know, I love baseball. You know, I love competing and I thought I had another at least, you know, 2 years left of being able to perform at a very high level. But I reached a point where last season, you know, on days I was starting, you know, I knew I was in the right place at the right time. 2 days after, I started to question if I was, you know, in the right place in my life in terms of being away from my family. Those were the first time I ever questioned if I was doing the right thing. The first day I was here, you know, I was talking to my son. He told me, he's like, hey, Dad, I miss playing catch with you, you know, because me and him like play catch every day. And, you know, just like that's my first time being away from him since I got home after retiring. It just like, not that I needed affirmation that I made the right decision. It was time. You know, like I wanted to be with my family and, you know, I think my family wanted to be with me. Top 5. 没有. 小笼包, 鸡肉饭, 温炖汤, 小饭. One more, huh? Remember that noodle time, but the one down in Kaohsiung by the hotel. The beef noodle soup in Kaohsiung that used to be right next to our hotel. The one across the bridge. Everybody said it's famous beef noodle soup, but beef noodle. I like beef. That one in particular. Noodle mian. Oh, scenery. Taipei 101, Hualien. I like that mountain. Elephant Mountain's pretty cool. We went on a train ride once from Kaohsiung all the way to Hualien, but we took the southern route, and on that train ride, it was just like mango grove after mango grove. It was pretty amazing. And the scene of standing on the pitching mound in Xinchuang, you know, seeing everybody right there. Very family oriented, very welcoming, very respectful, very helpful, generally just like very kind, nice people.